Africa, where the web of life is spun from cheaper thread. Africa.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage, the show where Tennille and I take a look at every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order.
Yeah, okay there?
No.
I mean, same. It's another one of these! Hooray!
Yeah.
I really despise these.
This was Tarzoon, or Shame of the Jungle.
You know, I barely stand adult comedies that are made nowadays with today's sensibilities on what is okay and not okay. And, you know...
So watching one that's
from the 70s.
45 years old.
Yeah.
Not great.
No. I actually, let's get the plot summary out of the way.
Okay, First and foremost, there is... I don't know if I can show anything, but we will be discussing...
what happens in this movie, and you can't without saying several explicit things. So, viewer discretion is very much advised.
If you're a child or baby, get out.
Get out!
We'll see you next time. It's definitely a family-friendly film next time.
Cool.
So, there's a lady that wants to take over the world. She's hiding in the bush country of Africa, which is depicted as though Africa is a giant naked woman and the bush is, you know,
yeah,
the bush.
Got it.
Cool. But she's bald, and this is a problem for her. So she's going to have a scalp transplant, and the lady she chooses to steal the hair from is June, the mate of Shame of the Jungle. This is the parody of Tarzan.
Yeah, that's an important thing to say right away. And you know what? Let's just get this part out of the way too. The original name of this movie is Tarzoon, Shame of the Jungle. Mm-hmm. However, this movie went through several lawsuits with the Edgar Rice Burroughs estate.
I'd believe it.
Because they did not like the representation of Tarzan in this. And the first time it went through a lawsuit, it was deemed as a parody, and so it won the lawsuit. But the second time it went through a lawsuit with the estate, they're like, okay, we can't outright get this movie to just go away, but we do want to make a claim that the name Tarzoon is detrimental to the name of Tarzan. It's like a slander on the name of Tarzan. And in that case, the judge agreed with the Rice Burroughs estate, and so...
the character's name was changed to Shame.
Future edits of this film are all have the name Tarzoon taken out of it, and his name is just Shame.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, this lady that wants to take over the world, all of her minions are walking penises.
Yep.
Every single one is just a penis with two balls that it uses to walk around on.
They're just dick monsters.
We can't show you any of them.
No. We can't even show a poster because they're all over the posters,
I don't think we can show anything.
No.
Everyone's naked or a literal penis.
Mm-hmm.
By God.
Yeah. This one was the okay, no, we've had some really bad movies in the past where I've really wanted to turn them off. This one felt like my brain was literally melting out of my skull while we were watching it.
It was really stupid.
This was extremely mind-numbing experience to get through.
This is just lowbrow humor to the nth degree.
The best jokes this movie makes, because it's a parody, so it's trying to be a comedy, the best jokes it makes are reference humor.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with. The best jokes are, I repeat, reference humor.
That's a bad sign, because usually reference humor isn't a good idea, because reference humor only works if you know what they're referencing.
Well, and the references that it makes in these films, most people aren't going to get them nowadays. The only reason Sean and I actually laughed at these jokes is because since we are doing this we're doing Animation Pilgrimage, they feel very timely to us because we are experiencing the culture that goes along with that.
So I think we'll save the only joke that made us actively laugh until the end of this review.
I agree.
You have to stick around through all of this miserable schlock for us to get to the one good, heavy quotation, good joke.
It caught Sean and I very off guard, and we burst out laughing. But it was the only time we laughed watching this whole movie. There is another reference joke they make where we have these two scientist guys that work for the bad guy, and they're joined.
They're conjoined twins or something. Sort of. But they're meta humor where they know they're cartoon characters and they're like, can we get hired by Hanna-Barbera? I don't know.
Warner Brothers? Definitely not.
Yeah.
I think that one's a little funny where they're like, could we get hired by Warner Brothers? No. Hanna-Barbera? Maybe. And then they later,
he's like, oh no, I killed him. I didn't know I could kill him.
We're cartoon characters. I've watched Tom and Jerry. I shouldn't have been able to kill him and stuff like that.
And then it just keeps running on for
way too
5
long.
minutes, which means it wasn't funny anymore.
Yeah.
That's a lot of this movie. It's like recycled animation, just
recycled jokes, recycled everything to make this only an hour and 8 minutes long, but it is padded as hell.
Yeah. I still have more plot, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The whole point is Evil Lady wants
the hair.
June. She wants hair.
And
she's going to take over the world when she gets it for whatever reason.
And
she's got these monsters. Tarzoon tries to save her and goes on multiple tirades of different shenanigans going on.
He just bumbles through the movie and happens to make the thing go boom and wins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the villain explodes.
Yeah, there's a lot of kinks in this movie that I don't think people really knew were kinks, but it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, she is it's just bad.
Yeah, we don't need to go into it. It's fine. It's not fine. It's gross. Alright.
Yeah, it's bad.
So, I think that's all we need to say for the plot summary. But now, my general thoughts on this film, I just want to say, I've been trying to put this into words. And it's something that I feel holds true to even stuff of this caliber that's made today. Because, we still have a lot of adult animated shows or something that'll come out and
which is generally considered schlock.
Yeah. And it just doesn't sit right with me. One, because I just don't enjoy this kind of humor. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm above it or anything like that. It is not for me. But what I think my problem is with it is that crude and juvenile humor like this just doesn't really mesh well with animation because it takes so long to do. You lose the spontaneity of the gag.
Yeah.
And I can't help but think how someone had to sit down and write, plan, board, sequence, animate, color, and shoot every single shot and think, yeah, this is a good way to spend my time.
It's a good time. I'm going to spend the next, year of my life drawing penis monsters bouncing around the screen. For a year.
Right.
Or however long it took to make this movie.
Yeah, it's just this is stuff that 12-year-old boys around the cafeteria table would all laugh at. But, to go through and actually animate that crap, you have to spend so much time thinking about this bad joke that a 12-year-old boy at the cafeteria table could have laughed at and then immediately forgotten 10 minutes later.
what if there was an evil lady that was bald and she wanted to take over the world and she had 14 nipples and all of her soldiers were just penises and then they do a Nazi thing. It's terrible, guys.
Yeah. Besides, okay, not even just going into the crude humor, like...
It's obviously racist because the whole thing's set in Africa and it does not represent any of that well at all.
It continually talks about how Africa is a land of savages and... it just repeats that point over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
It's horrible.
When looking up information on this movie, I saw it was a parody of the 1934 film of Tarzan, where presumably it also did some of this shit because it was the 1930s and that's what happens. But just tripling down on that aspect of them representing Africa in a poor way is not helpful.
Right, because, like, Sean and I haven't seen that other movie that it's parodying. So, like, to us, it's just showing the thing. It's not making any kind of critique on it. Mm-hmm. It's just... the thing you know is bad is in here.
And then we're just going to do it a lot.
Yep. Not going to make any kind of commentary on it.
Let's not even talk about the entire... tribe of tiny naked cannibals.
Yeah.
That just eat everything.
Yeah. Oh, this film is gross too. It's got a lot of gore and like cartoon gore is.
It's just unappealing.
Unpleasant. Yeah, just but. So anyway.
Hard pass on this. We'll tell you the only.
1 second, okay. We're not done yet.
Okay.
This film received an X rating to begin with. It went back and forth from getting an X rating to an R rating, depending on what cut of the movie you saw and where it was distributed.
Cool.
20th Century Fox originally distributed it
in France.
In France.
Because this is a French-Belgium film.
Yes. But they did not distribute it at all in America. Somebody else did.
Yeah, they got like a subsidiary company or something.
And like Bill Murray was hired as one of the people to voice act in this.
He was?
Yeah, he plays like a bit part of the reporter or something like that.
Oh.
So it's very small.
Wow.
Directed by Picha and Boris Schlesinger. It was originally a 15-minute pilot, which was then extended into the full movie. And
15 minutes would have worked much better.
If it was 15 minutes, then we wouldn't have had to watch it.
Yeah, I know.
Like I said, it got multiple lawsuits and censoring. It did eventually make some money through all of its
re-releases and
re-releases to different places. But its general critical reception received multiple negative reviews, and I just kind of want to read some of these, because sometimes these reviews are fun. Vincent Canby of the New York Times said that the film was an unsuccessful attempt to parody the life and adventures of Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan. Tam Allen of the Village Voice called the film an uncomfortably accurate reflection of that civic eyesore known as toilet art. And compared it unfavorably to Fritz the Cat and Down and Dirty Duck. Playboy praised the film's artwork, but felt the film became monotonous after a good start. Still, in the off-the-wall category, the most literate, pertinent, and amusing challenge to the community standard since Fritz the Cat.
Clearly that person didn't see Down and Dirty Duck.
I mean, they're all about the same caliber, really.
Well, they said since Fritz the Cat.
Yeah.
It's like, they're all bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this film was outright banned in New Zealand.
Good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yep. Okay, so the one funny joke.
Which isn't even funny to everyone.
No, but it was funny to us.
Just because of our particular feelings with the reference they made.
Yeah.
So
This is a cutaway gag.
Tarzoon is just
Doesn't
swinging
even-
through the jungle.
Yep.
And here we see a bunch of tribe people sitting there praying to Tintin holding a Catholic cross.
Who then proceeds to beat the tribes people up with the Catholic cross.
Because they're not paying attention.
Yeah. Oh my god. Did I bust a gut laughing at that? Because I'm just like, wow, all those times we're watching Tintin and we're like, you know, this really has like white savior vibes. And Tintin just kind of seems to like come in and culturally appropriate and like
save the natives.
save the native people.
So this just nailed that.
This joke. Yeah. This was a good punch up at Tintin. Thank you.
Yep.
Screw this kid.
That's the only funny joke.
Yep.
And a lot of people probably still don't find that funny because they
No.
like Tintin.
Yeah. So,
That's it. Don't
That's
watch it.
don't watch it. It was horrible. What do we have next time, Sean?
Everybody Rides the Carousel from Mark Hubley. Or
John Hubley?
John Hubley.
Why'd you say Mark?
I don't know. I looked at it and then looked away. So.
John Hubley, yay!
John Hubley, USA, finally gets to produce his own film.
Oh, bless, finally.
Let's do this.
Oh. Good. All right. See you guys next time.